Turn up, crackers. Welcome to another wonderful deck profile. Let's get right into it.
Alright, so this is a 60 card ZombieSworn. I'm going to start with the main deck. So to start, we have 3 Shiranui Solitaire, 1 Spirit Master, 1 Unu Zombie, 1 Gazuki, and 3 Mizukis. Mizuki is broken in this deck. It's absolutely disgusting because you send it to the graveyard, you can just spin all of its back. If you get Spirit Master in your hand, you can bring him back. And Spirit Master can also be popped with snow. Let's put the zombies. And this card is just a perfect extender. When you have Unu Zombie out, you send it to the graveyard. If you have a zombie in your hand, you can banish, especially if you've already ashed. And then you can send another Mizuki just to extend a turn. Next we'll do Zoo. 2 Rapier, 2 Whiptail. I had one of the Ram, but with Link right now, it's hard for this deck to get out the Ram loop with Daigusto, so I switched out for 2 Whiptail because it's always nice to just have the ability to banish. Next, the Light Swarms. I have 1 Lumina, 1 Arcus. Arcus is searchable off of Broadbull and also searchable off of Zodiac or the Tenki. So if I have Solar Recharge in my hand, I can usually get this out and then actually make it live. Otherwise, it breaks your hand hardcore. 2 Raiden. I know some people have 1, but I play Brilliant Fusion, so having Raiden just to go in and then make a Omega with is just beautiful. 3 Wolf. Hate this card, and I love this card because so often I get in my hand and I just want to smash my head against the table. But if I get Lawn Mowing off, or even with Raiden, it just Brilliant Fusion, Foolish Burial just gives me that extra card that can really make the game. Next, I call them my support cards. I have 1 Photon Thrasher because I run Reinforcement of the Army to search out Raiden. So I have this just so it's never dead. 3 Snows. I don't need to explain 3 Snows. Everybody hates this card. I love it. I hate it when I'm against it. And then I run 2 Garnets because I play the Brilliant Fusion engine. I hate drawing into Garnet, just as I hate drawing into Wolf. And I'm playing 2 Seraph Knights now, so if I can get Brilliant Fusion off twice in one game, it's usually OP. Next we'll go with my hand traps. Hand trap format came and gone, but I still like my hand traps because when I was playing no hand traps, I always wish I had them. So I switched back to this, and I never really get any issues with this, especially with Ghost Ogre. If I have Soul Charge, bring out Ghost Ogre, it's annoying as fuck because then you can activate it from the field, negate them, especially if I have a Dryden out. So next go to my spells. 3 Brilliant Fusion, 3 Barrage, 3 Solar Recharge, and like I said, the way I've made my deck, I never ever brick with Solar Recharge anymore. And 3 Left Arm Offering, so I can search out Lawn Mowing, which is my favorite, but often I am also searching out Barrage. I'll search out Brilliant Fusion sometimes, depending on the situation. Those are my 3 ofs. Play 2 Tenki, searches a Whiptail, searches a Rat. If I have a Brilliant Fusion, I can also search out Light Sworn Arcus to make Solar Recharge available. 2 Charger Light Brigades, 2 Shuffle Reborns. This card is absolutely broken because if you negate my Rat, I can just bring it out, do it again. Often I find myself returning Brilliant Fusion just to get a draw, and then sometimes if I'm playing against Dryden, they'll go to pop my monster. I activate this so I can get a free draw off of it, and then I can usually use it for something.
It's like not even you, you're just like...
So next are my 1-ofs, Foolish Burial, Lawn Mowing. I missed when it was at 3. I've pushed the 60 card deck long enough now that it's at 1, but I think it's almost over. Reinforcement of the Army, explain this. Monster Reincarnation. Was just looking for something to fill a hole in my deck. This is nice because if I have Mizuki, I can send to the graveyard, make it active, but usually I end up just siding this card out for something else. Soul Charge, don't need to explain that. And Zodiac Combo. Ever since I put this in my deck, I don't know how I never played with it. Often I go off with Zoo, I explode, I have a negate, they finally get rid of my Zoo engine, just activates from the graveyard, reset my entire Zoo engine, I can just explode again. I usually send this with Rat, and it's pretty much so I can have an extra deck space that's not Daigusto, but I still have the spinning ability of Daigusto, because I only ever had Daigusto in there for my Zoo. And then next is my Destruction. So I have 3 Twin Twister, works very well with this deck because you always want to discard, and with Chain Burn, with fucking True Draco, everything. It's just nice to have that spell destruction. And then Regege, search that off of Left Arm Offering and you're laughing. So next we'll do my extra deck. Minerva, just beautiful, absolutely beautiful. When it came out, I was so happy because for so long I found myself dreaming of this card when I'm going to bed, and then they reprinted it and I was the happiest man ever. Next is my Zodiac engine, Hammer Kong, Chalk 9, beautiful card. Probably, I like this more than Dryden sometimes because it really adds for the synchro ability, especially if I've made Miss Radiant already. And Tiger Mortar, Broad Bull, and Dryden. Broad Bull works really well with this deck because you can just search out the Arcus and gets your solar recharge off. Dispeller, because I rarely go in this card, but when I do, it's a kick in the nuts. Like, you just see the person's smile turn into a frown, and they're like, fuck. That's it for XYZs. Next is Michael. Michael I like because I run the Lumina. So when I get this off, I can banish your back row, I can banish your Dryden, whatever is really giving me trouble. And when it's destroyed, if Minerva is in my graveyard, I can send Minerva back to the extra deck and I can reuse her. Just to feed Snow, because you know everybody fucking hates Snow. Scarlet Red Dragon Archfiend. This card's OP. It's really good for finishing the game off. When you're really in the grind game, you can get this out and they have a board, but they have no negates. Blow up their board, give them 1500 damage, let's say, attack with 3000, you just hit them for 4500. Beals, simply because of True Draco. I hate True Draco with a passion. I playtest against it all the time, and Beals always comes in handy. 2 Omegas, because with Mizuki, just to be able to spin them back over, steal cards from their hand, not to mention in Link format, build one, send it, build one, send it, and then build a Dryden. You're good. They're at 3 cards, they draw 1, you can usually pop something. If I'm lucky enough to have a Fairy Tale Snow in the graveyard, it's usually game over. Then Miss Radiant. I was playing Deco Talker too, but I found often that I didn't actually make Deco Talker. And with Miss Radiant, I can use Gemnite Garnet to make Miss Radiant. So I Brilliant Fusion out Seraph Knight, get 2 normal summons, usually one's a rat. Even if I have a barrage on board, just bring out a rat, and then make Miss Radiant with it, and then go off with my graveyard. I play 2 because recently I've been playtesting, and I always draw Brilliant Fusion late in the game, and especially because I'm playing 2 Garnets. If 2 go to the graveyard by chance and Omega's in the graveyard, I can send Garnet back to my deck and then activate Brilliant Fusion, therefore getting another Snow, or getting a Wolf just to extend. Next will be my side deck. Dimensional Barriers. This card's just broken. Imperial Order. Like, so many cards rely on spells that it's just absolutely necessary. 3 strikes. I don't often put the strikes in because my deck already draws a lot of life points. So strikes only if you have a card that I can't deal with otherwise, and I'm going first. It's for traps. 3 Zombie World. The ZombieSworn, if I throw this in, I usually throw it in against True Dracos because it stops them from being able to tribute. It's also good against Dinos because it means then they can't actually activate their Ultimate Conductor. and it's also good against Zodiac because they cannot add Whiptail to their Drydens. They'll usually pop it, but that means they're taking away their Dryden pop just to get rid of this one card, which it helps me, it hurts them, it doesn't really brick my hand much, but if I can have this out, I have Mizuki in the graveyard, I Mizuki back Raiden and I laugh my ass off because I just Mizuki back Raiden. I've also Mizuki back Zoo before after I activated my Zodiac combo, just so I can go off with Zoo again. Then 3 Kaijus, also for True Dracos, and 2 Dark Holes, simply because wiping the board is so necessary. Especially with Link Monsters. They put so many resources to the Link Monsters. They have this out, another card, and then they're waiting until their next turn to explode. You just Dark Hole everything, all the resources are gone. And that's my build. This will probably be the last weekend playing it, because I want to try Vendreads, but I'll always come back to this deck if everything else doesn't work out. That is my 60 card ZombieSworn. I hope you enjoyed this video, and please punch that like button, everybody.
Dick punch it.